You may be wondering, what does one eat to fuel for such adventure? This guy goes off just Wheat Bix. I need a little bit more. I've got porridge and Wheat Bix, and then for seconds I'm gonna have rice and tuna. I feel so full that I want to throw up, but it worked yesterday.
It really did. He had way more energy than the first day. It was good to see him like all fueled up and ready to go.
Heading out day 3 from Caiguna. We're going to Madura today, a little bit less, 156.6 or 157 Ks. So feeling pretty good, but it's slightly less than what we've been doing the last couple of days. So getting to halfway point and then finishing a little bit earlier is going to be pretty nice.
Nice.
Very nice. We've got, today and then tomorrow, and then we've got a bit of a rest day. So
Very nice.
looking forward to that as well. Whew. It's pretty chilly here this morning though. We got all jump it up, which is the first time we've actually had to do that. But I'm sure by the time we get in on the road, it's going to be pretty hot. So, wish us luck. Day 3, we felt a little bit better. We're getting up earlier and going, and it was only about 156 Ks to ride. So we knew that we were going to get there a little bit earlier during the day. But little did we know, again, we were pedaling into a headwind. Just hit 25%. I've not done too bad. Yesterday was worse, but it's about 15 to 20 K winds, which is considered light winds. But when you're riding 20, 25 Ks an hour on the bike, straight into a headwind, it is a noticeable difference, the impact that it makes. So yeah, just trying to wrap my head around that a little bit is challenging. Reece doing some stretches, Beck giving us some bananas. So tasty, but onwards and upwards to 50%. Yeah, I feel weak as shit, because I'm like, it's not even that windy. Stop, and it's not windy at all.
About one UV ray away from turning into beef jerky. The songs circling around in my head are keeping me distracted. Raw dogging. No music. We've got to be able to hear Beck in the van to let us know when a truck is coming.
My guts are churning, my legs are burning, but we're raising money for TIACS, and that's what matters.
Day 3, 50% done.
Whew, yeah, 50%. So we've just hit just under 80 Ks. We got just under 80 Ks to do. I think about 78 Ks left for the day until we get into Madura, where we'll have a nice hot shower. We lost an hour.
Yeah,
we crossed
time zone.
We crossed the time zone and we lost an hour. So it's yeah, we're pushing to get there before or by 4 o'clock. But look, it is what it is. We proceed.
We can do it.
I think we've just reached the point of absolute exhaustion. I feel fucking awful. My stomach is churning like crazy. Ooh.
it was really starting to get to Beau. Both Beck and I were bringing the positivity, bringing the vibes every time we stopped, and we kind of pulled him out of it each time. And just like he was pulling me out of it on the first day. Milo break.
It's easily the worst I've felt the whole time. I feel awful.
Hoping this will give us a bit more perk again.
We're just over 75%. So we'll smash this last bit in.
So close now. We can do it. You have strong legs. You are capable. Just a couple Ks to go.
The pain and everything started to really wane on me a little bit. My knees started to get flogged out. I was just, my riding style is a bit punchy, and to do those long distances, it was very, very challenging. My knees started to really flare up and swell. And we pushed ourselves so hard the last few days that I started to get really nauseous and almost vomited a couple of times, which was really struggling to try and keep food down. It's really challenging when you're trying to keep the calories in, but when you can't eat anything, you're just drinking water. It was terrible. Day 3 was the day that I just couldn't stand. It was not good. I was not coping very well.
Before the ride, we headed down to Armidale at the New England Regional Art Gallery to meet with Ali Flynn, entrepreneur, triathlete, founder of Altitude Fitness, life and performance coach, and host of the international podcast, The Challenges That Change Us. Ali is no stranger to adversity. Having faced some incredibly tough challenges throughout her life, she's continued to move forward with resilience, purpose, and an unwavering sense of hope. Through her businesses, coaching, and podcasts, she helps others navigate their own challenges and discover what's possible on the other side. We felt Ali was the perfect person to talk to about what it really takes to overcome adversity, build resilience, and keep showing up when life gets tough.
Share a little bit about your journey and what led you to, I guess, co-found your business and start your podcast.
It's a very big question. I think my journey really starts back in my childhood, where I grew up in this a beautiful, privileged environment, but I also grew up with a lot of pain. So I grew up in a family with domestic violence, sexual assault. I had years of sexual assault, and there were times that I slept on the street as a kid. So I did a lot of running away from home because it wasn't safe. And I had that part of my life that no one really knew about. It was so hidden from the world. And I went to a private school and I played almost every single sport under the sun. I had this amazing life on one hand, but in my 4 walls, it was very dangerous. It was very toxic. I was really scared. I grew up with a lot of shame. So it's no surprise that from that, I went and studied psychology. I did an undergrad in psych and a postgrad in emotionally focused therapy, which really looks at how we relate to ourselves and how we relate to the world around us and the people around us. And I started working with kids that were homeless or at risk of homelessness. And I really, really love that work. And we'll probably get into some of the conversations around what I have taken away from that and what I now understand around human behaviour and human resilience. And from there, I had a little baby girl, so I wanted to step away. I ended up having 3 kids in 3 years. And then I just got this amazing opportunity. I was training at a gym, and the instructor came up and said, "Why don't you do your PT? You make a really good instructor." And I was like, "Oh, I haven't never thought about being a PT, but I've got this time. I'm at home with little kids. I'll go do it." So I did my Cert 3 and 4, and another gym locally came up and said, "If you open a business here, you can have the gym for free and have access to our clients." And at that stage, I had not come from a business family. I had no business background. But there was a part of me that was stirring around like, this sounds like a really good opportunity. And so I started my first business in personal training. And about 6 weeks later, I was up having a shower, getting ready to run a boot camp. And I'd got out of the shower and I was just drying myself, and I had this headache on my left and these pins and needles down my right side of my body. And in that moment, I knew that my life was in danger. Like, I screamed so loud, and I can't articulate it now what it was, other than I knew I was in deep shit. My husband came up and he had the same reaction. He was like, he worked in the hospital, and he was like, we're in trouble here. And so rushed me in to the hospital, and they'd discovered that I'd had a stroke. I actually had 2. And so during the time that I had my stroke, I had 3 kids under 3.5. My baby was still on the boob. So not an ideal time. I don't think there's ever an ideal time to have a stroke. But having 3 young kids at home was soul shattering to not be at home and to not know if I would ever recover from that. I lost my eyesight in both eyes, in the top quadrants, and my short-term memory. So don't know if you've seen the movie 50 First Dates, but that was me. Like, I would wake up and I looked and sounded normal. I looked like this in ICU, but I had no clue why I was there, what was going on, if I'd eaten breakfast, if I'd put on undies for the day. Like, just had no concept of that. When I got home from the hospital, we actually had a sign on my front door that said, "Don't go out. You have 3 children in the house," because I knew I had children. I just didn't know they were with me. I would say the hardest part was not knowing if you'd ever get better. You know, there's a lot of statistics and evidence out there around when you have a stroke and whether there's improvements and what that would look like for me, for my life, for my family, as a mum, as a wife. So it was actually in ICU in Sydney that I decided that I was going to be a triathlete, which I'd never ridden a bike. A road bike in my life, and I'd not ever done an ocean swim, and I think I'd run 5Ks in my, like, maybe, I don't know the exact time, but maybe a few months before my stroke. So, like, I don't know what made me decide that, but in that moment in ICU, I was like, I'm going to be a triathlete, and that's going to be part of my recovery. So that was kind of what happened post-hospital. That was part of my recovery. And then from there, the other part of my recovery was growing businesses. I fell in love with business, and now I have 3 companies and international podcasts.
Amazing. So like your podcast has featured many stories about resilience. What does it actually mean to you personally?
I actually often sit down and think about this. What does that word mean? How does it show up in my life and lives of the people that are around me? I think there definitely is that element of being able to bounce back. I am cautious around that, though, in the sense that being resilient isn't about having adversity hit you and bouncing back straight away. You know, I think there's a real process that happens when adversity hits, and I think that it's important to acknowledge each of those phases that we go through. A huge part of what I've seen around resilience is that ability to be able to create meaning around what's happened for you. It's sort of like, here's the old me, this big thing happened. Now, what does that mean for me? Who am I now? How is that different? How do I now integrate that into my life and into the world that I'm in? So I think with resilience, it's really about that ability to be able to ride those waves of life, you know, like they come like sets, and some people tend to be in the ocean for a long time, getting smashed by all of these sets of waves, and others, you know, it may be 1, 2, 3, 5 moments of their life that they have that adversity. But I think as humans, if we're here for the full human experience, that it is one known. We will face adversity, we will face time of trouble, and you know, we can learn the skills and strategies to be able to help cope better when life hits. And that adds to our resilience bucket. Like, the more we experience, the more we learn, the more strategies we have, the more resilient we will be able to feel next time some adversity hits.
I think some people, when they see others that overcome or that are, they're so resilient, they like, how do they do that? It's like, no, that they feel and think the same darkness. They go through the same things you are.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's not different. It's like they feel that harshness and that darkness the same as anyone else.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts around that? Like, because it seems like a really fundamental mindset shift, and that it comes with the story you're telling yourself.
My shit days have been really shit. When you say that, that really resonates in that, like, the heartache I felt and the fear that I felt and the moments of like, am I even going to be here tomorrow to share with anyone, to see my kids, to laugh with my husband? You know, they're very real moments. Not feeling like I have what I need to get through it. The way that I have learned, I don't know if this is helpful, the way I've learned to kind of frame it and scaffold it in my brain is around, I think about a storm, and I think about when a storm hits. So if there's a hurricane or a really aggressive storm, we want to get safe. Like, we close all the windows, you know, you might go and like put all your precious stuff away, you might hide under a rug, whatever you need to do, but you're not going to be outside singing and dancing out in the storm. Like, if it's a really aggressive storm, you're going to do what you need to do to get safe. And I think about that with adversity. Like, there is a moment in time that you may need to shut the hatches. You may need to remove yourself from things that you normally do in your everyday life because you are in survival mode. Like, stuff is hard and you need to use all your internal resources to get yourself psychologically and physically safe. But where I think, like, I really believe is that there's two more phases to that, and it's really important that we recognize when we should move through that. The second is like a striving phase, you know, like when the storm has gone, but there is a mess everywhere. Like, the branches are all down, you might have a broken window, there might be like hail damage on your car, whatever it is for you, but there is like, it is a mess. And you are trying to work out what your new normal is. It's like, who am I? What does my world look like? The thing that scared me or the thing that was really hard isn't there anymore. But this is the messy middle. This is the part that I'm no longer who I was, but I don't know who I'm becoming, and I can't see it yet. And so identifying and recognizing when you're shifting and moving through that phase, but as equally as recognizing that phase, there is then the sunshine, you know, and I think we forget to recognize that. You know, like when the sun comes out and things aren't, like, you've moved through that striving phase, the yard has been cleaned up, the windows have been fixed. Have we actually paused and stopped for a moment and been like, oh, I'm not where I used to be. Like, I'm no longer there, and things are good, and there is joy, and there is beauty. And you know what? If everything stayed as it is right now, I'm doing okay in this world. And I really believe that, like, I think we can, if we can have scaffolding, like, our brain likes to know what's coming. So if we can put kind of some frameworks or some scaffolding behind our experiences, then it can help us have language to it and create meaning to what we've experienced in our life.
If you can get a tempo, a song, that's also really good as well.
I latched onto that spark of positivity again and just started singing, trying to lighten the mood. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, a friend of humanity. At the edge of the world, fight the mighty hordes that bashes and breaks you and brings you the morn. He wiped out your past, got kicked in his chest. He's a friend of humanity, so give him the rest. That's my epic tale. Our champion prevailed, defeated the villain. Now pour him some ale. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley of plenty, oh. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh friend of humanity. Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty, oh valley
God for that downhill.
Beautiful.
Oh man, that was hard. That was the hardest day by far.
Yeah.
Wasn't? Oh man, that last hill was so nice.
It was a real mental game today, I think.
I almost was like, oh, should we stop and get like a drone shot of it because it was so nice.
Okay, give us a real feeling.
I'm fucking shattered. I feel like I've got this burst of energy because that downhill was so good.
It's so nice.
But yeah, today proper broke me. I barely made it.
You made it.
You did good.
We made it. It was words of affirmation.
We can do it. You have strong legs. But of course, we got to the bottom and we were like, we really should get a drone shot of that while the sun's still good. The sun's up, it's sunset. We got to film it. So back up we go, but this time in the van because we'd already cycled it. So it doesn't count. We could, we could drive back just to get the shot.
And look at this. Unbelievable. It kind of reminds me of like an African savanna.
Yeah.
It's just, look, as far as the eye can see, it's just flat land.
Wow.
Truly beautiful. And then you've got cliffs all the way down.
Show the sunset too.
Oh, the sunset. Yeah, look at that. Just, what a beautiful place. Really reminds you that like, even though today was super hard,
Yeah.
that you can like finish your day off somewhere like this is pretty awesome.
Makes it worth it.
Makes it worth it. We've just gone over just gone over 500 k's. So we're closing in on halfway across the Nullarbor, and we're both very tired. We're very looking forward to our hotel rooms, a hot shower and a hot meal.
Yeah.
Holy, tomorrow's 182 k's. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to have to mind over matter. Absolutely.
You can do it.
Anyways, I can't even remember what the roadhouse was.
Yeah.
Like,
Caiguna's gone.
man, I have no memory of the place at all. And it was only 3 months ago. Man, that is tough. That's real tough.
You travel too much.
Yeah. I do remember the food being pretty good though. The food was good. Yeah, actually, I think there was only one place that had shit food.
Yeah. And we started having Guinness there, I think.
Guinness. Oh, yeah. Keep that iron up. The hydrating Guinness. It's exactly what we need.